Perfect weather conditions at Brands Hatch for this British Rallycross Grand Prix. The circuit is still a bit on the greasy side, but the sky is blue, the sun is shining, there's a massive crowd here, and they're going to see an absolutely fantastic spectacle, because these are some of the most dramatic cars you could hope to see anywhere, with some 900 horsepower, some of them. There is Dimi Mavropoulos, the Cypriot driver, who's driving one of his two Audi Quattros. He has one for rallies and one for rallycross, and he was extremely quick in the qualifying yesterday for this afternoon's racing. Mavropoulos then in an Audi Quattro, but he's got some real competition because number 21, Francois Monton, is many times Belgian champion. Then number 165, Barry Wilmot in the Fiesta. Number 303 is Peter Nielsen in the VW-powered NSU. But also in this event, Trevor Reeves, you can see him in the second row with the door open, and he's driving a 2-litre Ford Fiesta. But in particular, right at the back of the grid, indeed you're looking at it now on the right, is Trevor Hopkins, the 4-time British champion, out for the first time in anger in the brand new Ford Motor Company developed four-wheel drive Escort with its turbocharged engine. And Hopkins is coming through. He's up into about 4th position. Indeed, Hopkins is coming through the field like a hot knife through butter. Look at this is fantastic, and that is fantastic. Trevor Hopkins overdoes it at the first corner in his enthusiasm to do well in his first race in the turbocharged four-wheel drive Escort. He gets away last, but I bet you we are going to see some fantastic racing now, because Francois Monton leads, Mavropoulos is in second position, Varland is pulling off in the background in the Beetle, and Trevor Hopkins is coming up through the field. And look at that though, Trevor Reeves in the little Fiesta with its 2-litre engine, the lap record holder, Trevor Reeves from Canterbury, is chasing the Audi Quattro, so it's a front-wheel drive car in 3rd position, and 2 4-wheel drive cars in 1st and 2nd positions, and Trevor Hopkins is last, but not going to be very much longer. This is lap 1. I remind you, these are 2.5 lap races. I remind you too that the winner will get 24 points eventually to go forward to the vital finals, and the leader at the moment is Monton, the Belgian, with the Cypriot, Dimi Mavropoulos, right up with him. Trevor Reeves is in 3rd position, Tony Bardi is in 4th position, and off goes the leader, Francois Monton. Through into the lead goes Dimi Mavropoulos, and up 2 is coming Trevor Hopkins in the turbocharged four-wheel drive Escort. Mavropoulos, whose wheels look as though they're going backwards, that's an optical illusion, sliding and slipping up Aylward Hill into Druids Hill Bend on this, the 2nd full lap, and there is Hopkins. Hopkins coming up, passing Paul Bullivant, and Hopkins in doing that goes up to, I'm looking across the circuit, across into 5th position. Trevor Hopkins is now 5th as Mavropoulos goes into his last full lap. He's crossed the finishing line, he's got a complete lap to do. There he goes. Reeves is 2nd, Bardi is 3rd, Monton is in 4th position and gaining on the Mini, and there is Trevor Hopkins in the background. There is Trevor Hopkins in 5th position. Hopkins, number 1, British champion from Ashford, has got the bit between his teeth. The leader, Mavropoulos, is through. Reeves is 2nd, being chased by Bardi. Monton is in 4th position, and Trevor Hopkins sitting quite coolly and calmly, and he hits the tyres. So that's Trevor Reeves has hit the tyres, and that won't have done his rhythm very much good, and it probably hasn't done his car very much good either. Meantime, Tony Bardi tries to get through and fails. He's going to go through on the inside, and Bardi is driving the car that Reeves used to drive, and he's taking him. That's a depressing experience, and Monton is sliding up the hill. Langley's Gap, across the line, the winner, Dimi Mavropoulos. Who is going to be second? It looks as though it is going to be Trevor Reeves, with Tony Bardi in third position, and right up behind him, Trevor Hopkins in fourth place. As Mavropoulos drives off the circuit with a victory behind him. Well, this has to be the man, Martin Shanker, 4 times European champion in his quite astounding Escort. 560 horsepower, 4-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. He won the European Rallycross driver of them all, and very certainly the best showman of them all. This heat could well be sensational because it includes some of the very top men, and leaping away now into the lead, but for how long goes Seppo Niittymaki? Right behind him is Martin Shanker, then Matti Alamäki, and Niittymaki has already lost that lead as Gibson, the British driver, goes up into third position. Rob Gibson in his Porsche. Now, watch Seppo Niittymaki in the 900 horsepower Porsche, that's number 4, fighting back, rear wheel drive. Trouble back at the rear, but Shanker leads. Alamäki in second position, off goes Gibson almost, he caught it magnificently there. Pete Dam in the BMW 4-wheel drive car, and he built that transmission system himself, has gone up a place, but Martin Shanker, bidding for the fastest time of the day, is going for it. Behind him, the 1985 European champion, Matti Alamäki. Niittymaki is pulling off, but these 4-wheel drive cars have got a problem, and that is that they are penalised 5% on time in the heats to allow the 2-wheel drive cars to have a better chance. A lot of controversy about that, but those are the facts. And Shanker, watch his hands, this is incredible. See, he just changed gear there, and he's got a device by the gear lever which enables him to adjust the percentage of the drive which goes through to the front and rear wheels. 4-wheel drive car. Shanker is now on the last lap in this 2.5 lap race, and he clears Druids. Now he's going to swing it left, get the back out as he goes through Langley's Gap. Lot of smoke coming from the back. I remember the first time he turned out in this car, the engine went in the biggest possible way, but not today. And Martin Shanker with an extremely good time of 3 minutes 26.1. Wins from European champion Matti Alamäki. In third position is the 4-wheel drive BMW of Pete Dam. And the sad sight there, Seppo Niittymaki, no points from this race in the second heat. And there he is with the blue cap on, standing behind the car, wondering what he can do about getting it back to his pit to fix it for another run. On the very back rank for this, the last race of the second heats, is John Welch, ex-British champion, in the car which is a mirror image of that driven by European champion Martin Shanker. The Gartrack X-Track 4-wheel drive, 1800cc, turbocharged, 560 horsepower Ford Escort. And does it go? Front row of the grid. On the left there, Paul Bailey in the Escort. Then number 227 in the middle is Ross Browning in another Escort. Then probably the sensation of British Rallycross during 1985 as a newcomer, number 66, Mark Rennison, who incidentally won the celebrities race here at the European Grand Prix meeting at Brands Hatch, on tarmac that was. But now, look at this, the rear of John Welch's 4-wheel drive car, and that's going to disappear very rapidly indeed into into the lead goes Ole Arnesen, then it's Rolf Nilsson, then it's Nordstrom, and Welch is through up into 5th position as he goes round the right-hander at paddock turn. Nilsson, Nordstrom, and now he's up into 4th position. John Welch is up into 4th position behind Nordstrom's Beetle. Nilsson is in 2nd place. Ole Arnesen, the Swedish driver of the 4-wheel drive Audi Quattro, the blue and white car, is in the lead. Now watch Welch. He's coming up to take 2nd position, or 3rd at worst. And he's done it. John Welch has got ahead of Nilsson, the British driver, ex-British champion John Welch. If he can get past Nordstrom's Beetle on the knife edge, he might be able to do something about Ole Arnesen. But meantime, the 4-ringed Audi Quattro is building up the lead because Welch is being held up by Nordstrom's Beetle, 4-wheel drive Beetle. Arnesen leads, Nordstrom 2nd, Welch is in 3rd place. Nilsson, the Swedish driver, in the Porsche is in 4th place. So there are 4 different makes and types of car in the first 4 places. 1 lap completed, 2.5 lap race. Now can Welch do anything about number 20, Michael Nordstrom, the Swedish driver, first time at Brands Hatch this is for Nordstrom, so he's driving jolly well because Welch knows his circuit perfectly. Welch going for it now as he drops down to the S's, but Nordstrom's got the inside on the left-hander. He's holding the line, he's just clipping the tyres as he goes through on the right. It's 4-wheel drive. Welch has got the line here, but Nordstrom now. Welch is going to go through on the inside as they go up into Druids, and he's got enough of the car through. He just touched Nordstrom's car, just touches Welch's, and he's retaken that 2nd position. Has Nordstrom. Beautiful bit of driving. Meantime, Arnesen is across the knife edge. There is the leader. And look at this. This is Welch and Nordstrom going for 2nd, and Welch has lost it. He's going to spin off. He's caught it. Fantastic. But that gives Nilsson the opportunity to move up a bit. So it's still Arnesen leading, Nordstrom 2nd, John Welch in 3rd place, Nilsson in 4th place. Audi Quattro leads, Porsche 2nd, Ford Escort in 3rd position, Porsche in 4th place. And Welch has blown it. Look at the flames underneath the car, and the whole car now is smoking as John Welch's turbo looks as though it's set fire to some oil or some fiberglass. He's going off the circuit, he's opening the door. The atmosphere in there will be absolutely appalling, and I'm very much afraid that John Welch's afternoon of rallycross racing is over. But I hope that is not the case and he'll be able to fix it. But Ole Arnesen now is on his way, the Swedish driver in the Quattro, the man who won in 1983, is going to score maximum points in this race with Michael Nordstrom in the VW Beetle 4-wheel drive, very special car, in 2nd position. There's the checkered flag. There is the winner of this race in this 2nd heat, with Nordstrom in 2nd position and Rolf Nilsson in 3rd place, and very unhappily it looks as though John Welch is out of the meeting. John Welch in the red overalls with his helmet on the car. Well, managing to raise a smile. Well done, John. I wouldn't have thought it was very much to be happy about. I must say, looking at Welch, he, as far as one can tell, just looking at a television screen, he doesn't look overly miserable. Maybe it's something that can be fixed.
Chap managed to fall over his own fire extinguisher there, I think. Anyway, we've got more Rallycross coming up for you in about half an hour's time at 1:15.
John Welch's car is being worked on methodically but slightly frantically. It is a turbo problem. I've just heard that what happened was that a main oil pipe to the turbo had broken and they're working to replace it. That doesn't sound like too much of a job. There is big Trevor Hopkins, the man who built this circuit. Of course, he's a contractor by job, but the car he's in is just as interesting as the driver, because it's the new Ford Motor Company developed 1800cc turbocharged 4-wheel drive Escort, and Hopkins is in the 2nd row, and in front of him he's got 3 much slower cars, so we could well expect him to be in the lead by paddock turn. And if he is, and he gets round this time, he should do extremely well. Although, as you see in the back row, there is 4 times European champion Martin Shanker, who's won both races he's driven in today, and Ole Arnesen, the British Rallycross Grand Prix winner of 1983 in the Audi Quattro. So this heat, with Nordstrom in the 4-wheel drive Beetle as well, and Rob Gibson, could be all action. And Shanker's getting a bit bored with it all, having a little read as he sits in the car. Well, it's a way of passing the time, I suppose. Stand by for action. And through goes Hopkins. Hopkins takes Gibson. Hopkins leads at the first corner. The new Works Rallycross Ford doesn't lead for very long because Arnesen doesn't slingshot his way through and Hopkins gets pushed off. Arnesen doesn't slingshot his way through, he bullies his way through. But there, I said it was going to be action, and Mark Lloyd has gone through. He's in 2nd position. That's young Mark Lloyd, as off goes 25 there with Van Herk's car, and Hopkins has got a flat tyre. Trevor Hopkins, what rotten luck. He went off at the first corner of the first race, and there's nothing Trevor can do about this. Look at, he's not only got a flat tyre, but it looks to me as though part of the suspension's been broken from the angle of the wheel. But you'll notice that Arnesen is off, and Arnesen's got a flat tyre as well. Well, this is going to make it very interesting indeed for the qualification of the finals, because there's a B final and an A final. And what actually happens is that the scores are totaled. The top 9 go into the final of the Grand Prix with the winner of the B final, and the 10th to 19th fastest go into the B final. But back to the race. Lloyd into the right-hander at paddock turn. Hudson after him in the absolutely wide. Look at the loft that Hudson's got on as they go into the S's, dropping down to the S's. Gibson still in 3rd place in the Porsche. Slow up the hill. It looks slow, and it is slow, and it's not because the drivers aren't fast, it's not because the engines aren't powerful, it's because it's extremely difficult to get grip. The surface is so slimy and slippery. Mark Lloyd is going to win. He's on to the knife edge for the 3rd and last time. He completes the race by winning it. Mark Lloyd wins. Hudson is in 2nd place. Gibson closing is in 3rd position, and in 4th place is Ian Smith. Well, we've had some excitement this afternoon, but we're going to have some more now, because there on the grid, good news, is John Welch in his turbocharged 4-wheel drive Escort. He's got the oil pipe replaced and it looks all go. But in front of him, there is Erling Jensen, who is driving a very lightweight 3.5-litre Rover, which needs to be watched. On the extreme right-hand side of the grid in the white car, as you look at it, is Pete Dam, the Dutchman, in the 4-wheel drive BMW. Then you see E for Alamarchi in the 2nd row. That is the Porsche of European 1985 champion, alongside whom is John Welch. Behind Alamarchi, there's young Mark Rennison, who is an excellent driver. Rolf Nilsson, the man who won the first British Rallycross Grand Prix, is also in this race, as is Orjan Varland in the VW Beetle at the back. Rennison and Welch must score. Pete Dam gets a superstar. Erling Jensen does not. Alamarchi goes up, and John Welch is going to go through into the lead, and the first right-hander at paddock. John Welch, who's got to score well in this race to qualify for one of the finals, has taken the lead. Pete Dam is in 2nd place. Seppo Niittymaki is in. Matti Alamarchi is in 3rd position. The European champion, and Orjan Varland is in 4th place in the VW Beetle. Now, the highly experienced John Welch, with some 560 horsepower underneath his right foot, has got to stay where he is to put up a good time, ideally to beat the fastest time we've had in these heats, 3 minutes 38.2 by Seppo Niittymaki in the four-wheel drive Porsche. And the fastest time we've had this afternoon is Ole Arneson's 3 minutes 33.3. So John Welch's target time, 3 minutes 38.2. The four-wheel drive cars have a 5% time penalty, but the first four cars in this race now are four-wheel drivers. The Ford Escort there of John Welch, the BMW of Pete Dam, the Porsche of Alamaki, and the VW Beetle of Orjan Varland. One lap completed. 2.5 lap race. John Welch leads. You can see his hands working away on the steering wheel. This man from Aldershot, the 1984 British champion, third in the British Championship in 1983, an enormous amount of British and continental success. Welch, 1984 and 85 champion, and he won 4 out of the 6 British rounds this year, despite which he did not, because of the peculiarities of the scoring system, become British champion. And he's even won an event in Norway, so John Welch deserves to win this one on form alone, and the car, of course, is nothing short of incredible. Four-wheel drive, the Gartrack X-Track car, the transmission system of which has been adopted by no less an organisation than General Motors for their new 1986 Opel Kadett rally car. This is the end of lap 2. John Welch looks as though he's on his way to a great victory with the last half lap to go. Cleans the moisture off the inside of the screen with the back of his glove. And he's now down into the S's. This is a third gear left-hander. He actually drops a cog here for the right-hander. Four-wheel drive, up the hill, third gear, fourth gear, 100 miles an hour as he goes into the right-hander at Druids. Puts on the handbrake to disconnect the differential and adjust the drive, and he spins! John Welch now, he's already got it into reverse. He's lost first place. He looks as though he could conceivably take second. Orjan Varland is up into third place. Matti Alamaki is down to fourth. But despite spinning in the lead, John Welch goes through in second position. A magnificent recovery. But that will, of course, have adversely affected his time and his chance to get into the vital A final for overall victory in the Grand Prix. So, what happened to John Welch? This is what happened to John Welch, coming up to Druids on the last lap, with only a few yards to go, just a touch too much on the handbrake. He spins 180 degrees, but already he has it into reverse. That's how quick a rallycross driver's reactions are. But through into the lead goes Pete Dam, down into second place goes John Welch.
We've got the final of that event coming up for you after we go racing.
The 4.5 lap B final for the Motaquip British Rallycross Grand Prix. That's the fastest 10th to 19th competitors in the heats this afternoon. And the winner of this B final actually goes forward to make up the 10 on the grid for the Grand Prix itself. And there's a man down there with a major problem on the front row. It's Trevor Reeves with his 2-litre Fiesta. His major problem being that his gearbox is jammed in third gear. So he's got to take off in third and stay in third for the whole of the 4.5 laps. On Reeves's right, as you look at the screen, is Will Gollop in the 2-litre Saab. Then in the second row, there are Lewis Helmet, who is in the 5-cylinder, 20-valve, 4-wheel drive Audi Quattro, and that's the only 4-wheel drive car in this race. Just seconds to go now. There's this clearing the grid. The circuit is dry. Mavropoulos is winding his way through, and as they cross the line, never mind as they go into paddock, Dimi Mavropoulos bidding to get into the Grand Prix itself, don't forget, because the winner of this race will make up the 10 in the grid for the Grand Prix, and Mavropoulos means to be there. Right with him now is Will Gollop, number 18 in the Saab. Behind Will Gollop, Trevor Reeves, but Trevor Reeves is already starting to drop back. I remind you that he's jammed in third gear in the 2-litre Fiesta. This is a 4.5 lap race. Druids Bend, Mavropolis, who spun out earlier on this afternoon and lost a place very dramatically, really needs to keep it on the island in this race. Time doesn't matter, winning does. And he's fairly rocketing across the knife edge, very, very bumpy, less slippy than it was early this morning because a lot of the moisture's been driven away. Into the second gear exit of Hoppy's Drop, named after Trevor Hopkins, who built this circuit. Watch 4-star driver Dimmy Mavropolis' arms working on the steering wheel as he goes into the chicane, the tightest corner, second gear, feeds in the power, up to third, fourth gear, fifth gear, 100 miles an hour, over 100 as he approaches paddock turn. You can see that the circuit is really drying out, tight into the tyres, down, tumble downhill into the left-hander, the 90-degree third gear left-hander and the S's, tiny little short straight, right-hander, second gear, uphill, and this is where grip is at a premium, much better than it was earlier with the wetness having dried off, but at the end of that lap, Dimmy Mavropolis leads very convincingly. In second position is Will Gollop in the Saab. Third is Kevin Pease. And there is Breitnader trying to come through the field in the Lotus Esprit. And Trevor Reeves is in fourth position. And that's jolly good, stuck in third gear as he is. But Mavropolis with Trevor Reeves sliding back down through the field now as everybody builds up their momentum. There's Mavropolis on his own. There's Bardi, Tony Bardi in number 26. He has displaced Trevor Reeves. So the order now is Mavropolis leading, Will Gollop in second place, Kevin Pease in third position, fourth is Tony Bardi, fifth is Trevor Reeves, sixth is Breitnader, in seventh position is Michael Shield, and in eighth place is Roy Clark. And we're now on the fourth lap in this 4.5 lap race. And Breitnader is closing right up on Trevor Reeves. Trevor Reeves doing his best to keep the Fiesta going, and it looks to me from the smoke coming out of the exhaust pipe as he approached the right-hander there, as though he's having a bit of engine problems as well. Tony Bardi then, in the Mini, there's the leader, Mavropolis, across the knife edge, and Mavropolis now has got a lead over Will Gollop of some 4 seconds, and that's a very, very commanding lead. He's just got half a lap to go when he gets to the end of this one, and that will have guaranteed him a place in the Grand Prix itself, and he'll be joining the other 8 4-wheel drive cars and 1 2-wheel drive car. Tremendous performance. And that's the car of Dave Pritchard, the Metro. So Mavropolis now is on his last half lap. Gollop behind him in second position, and a very secure second position. Kevin Pease is third, Tony Bardi is fourth. Trevor Reeves is desperately holding on to the smoking Fiesta in fifth position, staving off Breitnader as you watch Mavropolis climbing Halewood Hill for the last time, and Reeves really throwing it about and barging off Breitnader. He couldn't do anything about that. Of course, he was on the rebound from his own contact with the tyres, and I think he's going through it, taking Breitnader. Breitnader fights back, and now Reeves has lost it because he's in third gear and he just won't have the power to get up the hill. So Dimmy Mavropolis crosses the line with a very secure lead with just 1 lap to go, and to qualify, he hopes, for the Grand Prix itself. But anyway, Breitnader has gone out. Mavropolis is still on his way, and of course he's got tremendous momentum. He's just got to keep it going. So Mavropolis going through, and Gollop second, and we can concentrate on Dimmy Mavropolis, the man from Cyprus, lives in Covent Garden, This is one of his 2 Audi Quattros. This car was actually owned by Austrian Rallycross champion Franz Wurz, from whom Mavropoulos bought it. And Dimmy's actually finished 3rd in the Acropolis Rally in his career, so he's no mean driver. And to prove it, he's going to win and go up into the Grand Prix itself. Now Tony Bardi is closing on Kevin Peace, and the order in the closing stages of the race with Mavropoulos, Gollum, Peace and Tony Bardi. And there's Bardi going through for 3rd, another contact. And this is not a case of I'm going to barge you out of the way, it's a case of I'm on the line and I can't do anything about it because I'm sliding. That's not Mavropoulos' problem, he has won. Dimi Mavropoulos wins the B final, qualifies for the 4.5 lap Grand Prix with Will Gollum in 2nd place. Kevin Peace coming across the line now ahead of Tony Bardi, 3rd and 4th. And Trevor Reeves in a Fiesta which has seen better days at the moment, smoking heavily. That was a terrific drive. He's had to go the whole way in 1 gear. The top 10 qualifiers for the Motaquip British Rallycross Grand Prix, and the good news is that John Welch has not only qualified but is in the vital front rank for the start of the 4.5 lap race. There he is, right in the middle, his turbocharged 4-wheel drive Escort repaired. Next to him on your right is Ole Arnesen, the 1983 winner and the fastest race winner today in his 4-wheel drive Audi Quattro, the man from Sweden. But in pole position is Martin Shanker, the man who won last year, 4 times European champion, tremendously spectacular 4-wheel drive Gartrack X-Track Escort with its 2-litre turbocharged engine. But in the 2nd row, Pete Dam in the 4-wheel drive BMW, Matti Alamarki in the 4-wheel drive Porsche, the European champion. Then in the VW, Nordstrom, Dave Pritchard in the 2-wheel drive Metro, a magnificent performance, the only 2-wheel drive car in the race. Then also in the 3rd rank, Seppo Niittymaki in the 800 horsepower 4-wheel drive Porsche. In the last row, Orjan Varlund in a 4-wheel drive VW, and Dimi Mavropoulos, the Cypriot, in the 4-wheel drive Audi Quattro, who qualified by winning the B final. So it's seconds to go. 4.5 laps. This is the most prestigious race in the Rallycross calendar, the Motaquip Grand Prix, and it's go. Arnesen leads, and Niittymaki comes through and takes 2nd position with John Welch crowding him as they go into the right-hander, and John Welch plows off and into the Armco, bounces off. Arnesen still leads, and Welch has made contact with 2 other cars. There's carnage at the back, but meantime the race is still on, and as they go through the S's, Arnesen spins out, and Alamarki, the reigning European champion, leads as they go up Halewood Hill into Druids Hill Bend. And this is drama right from the beginning. The adrenaline is flowing in buckets in those cars. And now Matti Alamarki in that tremendously powerful 4-wheel drive Porsche leads, and as he goes across the knife edge, sensation, he lives Dimi Mavropoulos, the Cypriot, in the Audi Quattro. But Mavropoulos is now being passed by Martin Shanker, 4 times European champion, who is harrying. And John Welch is in 4th position. John Welch has clambered up to 4th position after that disastrous start. And we're coming through now to the end of the 1st lap in this 4.5 lap race. And I do believe that Welch has damaged his left front wheel. No, it looks all right as he goes. He looks okay. No, he's bent it. He's bent the left front wheel and suspension part. And Martin Shanker's turbo flaming as he crosses the line, and you can see that he's damaged his bodywork. Welch is challenging Dimi Mavropoulos for 3rd position. Mavropoulos has had somebody go into the left side of the Audi Quattro. The door is stoved in, but Alamarki leads. Shanker is 2nd. Welch and Mavropoulos fighting for 3rd position, and Shanker going through and taking the lead. He's hit Alamarki, he forces his way through, the back of the Escort drifts out, and Martin Shanker, the 1984 winner, is about to lose his lead, I do believe, as Alamarki goes across the knife edge. What sensational stuff. And Martin Shanker down on the right-hand rear, it looks to me, with John Welch now up into third position. The two Gartrack, X-Track, turbocharged four-wheel drive Fords are up into second and third places. And it's the Porsche in fourth place, and Shanker's going through, right close out onto the grass, down into the chicane, and Welch is up into second place. Oh, fantastic! Shanker leads, Welch second, Alamarchi, the European champion, in third position. Nittimarchi in fourth position. Mavropoulos is down to fifth, and Welch is going for it. You could regard these two as teammates. They're in virtually identical cars, but Welch wants to be the first British winner. He bangs and flails his way up alongside Martin Shanker. But Martin, who's very temperamental out of the car, is very, very cool in it. He's got a lot of experience. Four-wheel drive now. They need it going up this greasy hill. And Welch is through. Welch leads. John Welch. Is he going to be the first British winner of the British Rallycross Grand Prix? Shanker drifts out. He's losing time. On to the knife edge now goes John Welch in the lead. We're on lap 3 and Shanker stops. The immediate challenge to John Welch has been removed. Alamarchi goes up into second place. Nittimarchi goes up into third place. Mavropoulos is in fourth position. Shanker is dropping right back, having gone off, and John Welch in the STP car is in a commanding position to win the race. A lap and a half to go. Now, can Matti Alamarchi, the European champion in the 750 horsepower Porsche, do anything about John Welch? He's being egged on by the crowd, is Welch. And now Nittimarchi is going for second place in the white and blue Porsche. There he is. Oh, great stuff. Two Finnish drivers, second and third. Alamarchi and Nittimarchi. And John Welch. There's the Union Jack on John Welch's door. John Welch, the man who is looking for sponsorship in 1986, looks to me as though he's not going to have much trouble in getting it if he wins this race. It's going to be a famous victory if he does it. Across the line, he is now into his last lap. In 1982, it was a Swede who won, Rolf Nilsson. In 1983, it was a Swede who won, Ole Arneson. In 1984, it was a Finn who won, Martin Shanker. But now, is it going to be a Briton who wins in 1985? John Welch from Aldershot. 1984, British champion. 1984 and 85, Welsh champion. He's patiently built up this car. It's cost him £60,000. And it looks to me as though it is now going to pay off. Welch out of paddock turn, down, tumble downhill, into the left at the S's, third gear. Now he sets it up for the second gear, right-hander. He's got to go uphill and hill. He's got the four-wheel drive to help him overcome the lack of grip. As he goes up to Druids Bend, he spun off here in an earlier race. He's got to get it round here without doing the same again. But he's well ahead, and I don't think he's going to do it this time. He isn't. He's only got to go through Langley's Gap now, and alongside the knife edge, and the 1985 Motaquip British Rallycross Grand Prix has been won by Briton John Welch in the Gartrack X-Track Escort, to the delight of the crowd, with European champion Matti Alamarchi second, Seppo Nittimarchi third, and you can see that John Welch has done what he did when he took me round this morning. He's gone off at the end of the knife edge, but he should worry. If you go off at the end of the Grand Prix when you've won it, you've still done magnificently well. And that time of 5 minutes, 56 seconds for 4.5 laps of this superb Brands Hatch Rallycross circuit is something to be very proud of. And John Welch will be beside himself with joy, and justifiably so. Driving in now, and what a reception John Welch is going to get on the winner's podium. And when he comes into the pits, he's put so much effort into this car. Front rank of the final, and a magnificent recovery from that first corner debacle which nearly took John Welch out of the race. I think John Welch in having the car hit on the right-hand side at the beginning of the race, has had it jammed. He can't get out through the front. He's got to get out through the back. I think John would be quite happy to get out through the roof. And a tremendous cheer from the crowd. A delighted new winner of the British Rallycross Grand Prix, John Welch, in the Gartrack X-Track turbocharged four-wheel drive Ford Escort. In second place, the reigning European champion in his Porsche, Matti Alamarki. In third position, fellow Finn in another Porsche, Seppo Niittymaki. And in fourth place, Orjan Varland in the VW Beetle.